Welcome to your wellness euphoria. Hello and welcome to Wellness Euphoria's Christmas edition. Usually we spend a lot of time with meditation, mindfulness, and other wellness resources. And today we're going to be participating in a fun mindfulness activity so that we can joyfully integrate our practice into the Christmas and holiday season. So what we're going to want to do here is to get things started in creating your meditating Santa Christmas tree ornament. Start by gathering your supplies. You'll need a small wood slice, a scrap piece of paper, acrylic paint in a variety of colors you can see here on the screen, small to medium paint brushes, water for rinsing, a rag, glue gun or drill, pipe cleaner or string in multiple colors, and one sticker or decal. So first things first, you'll want to grab some white acrylic paint and simply start painting the back of your wood slice. If you're fairly detailed like I am, you can even go in on the sides and paint the sides as you can see here. However, if you have a beautiful wood slice with bark on the sides, you may want to leave that the way it is. Just getting a nice clean look here. You can cover up any blank spots and smooth out that paint. Spend as much time on it as you like. This is meant to be a mindfulness activity, just simply focusing on the craft at hand. Now, when you're done painting, you can let that dry for a little bit. The less paint you use, the quicker it'll dry. The more paint you use, of course, the longer it'll take. But there's no need to rush. Now when it's dry, you'll be able to flip it over. And this is where we're going to be painting our design. If you got a little bit of paint on this side, that's okay. Paint kind of gets covered up by itself as we go, so it's going to look beautiful in the end. So again, you'll want to get into that white paint, maybe with a wider brush. And all we're going to do here is just paint a little hilltop. So using those curved strokes, this is where your meditating Santa is going to be sitting. Just filling that in. Let that dry a little bit. Now what we're going to do is we're going to grab our red paint. Take a slightly smaller brush and we're just going to paint in Santa's body. I find the more paint you use, the smoother the edges. However, it's going to take longer for that paint to dry. So try not to use too much, and we're just going to make a little round circle for his torso. Remember, at this point, you can actually paint whatever you like, however you like, but feel free to follow along with the instructions if you'd like to complete the painting that we're doing here today. Creativity is always encouraged. Now, as we paint the legs of Santa, what you want to do is it's going to be two bent lines. So one coming from the hip outward and then back inward. Doing it on the other side as well, coming from the hip, coming outward for the knee, and then coming back inward where the legs will cross. Painting the arms, you'll come up from the shoulder and down toward the knee, giving a little check mark or swoop at the end where the hands will be. Again, coming down for the second arm from the shoulder down to the knee and doing that little swoop where the hand's gonna come out. We're gonna jump right up to the face, so you'll wanna grab any skin-toned color paint and do another small circle at the top for the head. And just fill that in. Fill in any missing spots there. And then you can grab your black acrylic paint, get a nice small brush. And we're going to start painting in the hands here for a meditation posture, a mudra. As Santa's going to be bringing his pointer finger and his thumb together for his meditation posture. Santa likes to meditate every day. He has a lot of work to do, and this helps keep him peaceful and calm. Of course, he's wearing gloves, so don't worry too much about creating excessive amounts of detail here. Sometimes as we work through these projects, we look at it and go, this just looks like a big glob of paint. But as we go and as we work through it, we'll start to notice it coming together, and at the end, we'll be able to appreciate what all of our work and focus turns into something beautiful. So finishing up that second hand there. Very good. You may need to let it dry a little bit. Now we're going to move into the boot area. So we'll have to do a boot for each foot, starting on one leg, making almost a triangle shape for where the boot is covering the shin and calf. And then once you're finished that, you'll just do almost like a upside down teardrop shape. If you can imagine the foot underneath the boot, that'll help you outline where you're going to want to paint. Of course, Santa's sitting in what some would call a cross-legged position. This might actually be the easy pose. You can do Santa in a number of different positions. Lotus, quarter lotus, half lotus. Maybe Santa's going to be laying down, seated in a chair, his big throne. Or maybe Santa wants to meditate while standing, or even doing a walking meditation. Your painting doesn't have to be incredibly accurate. Again, this is all just to help us relax and have some fun over the Christmas holidays. Now grab some black paint. We're going to paint a belt in the torso there. Just helping Santa keep his coat closed together there, as we know it can be quite cold where he goes during Christmas, flying around in the sky. Now let's grab that red paint again. We're going to top off Santa's outfit with a nice red hat, starting with a line across the forehead and then bringing it over the head down into a draping motion to the side. And creating that piece that falls down the side of the head down to a little white tuft. and just smooth everything out just the way you like it, creating a shape that looks appropriate to you. Now grab that white acrylic paint, and we're going to use that throughout this painting for the trim. We're just going to start with the center trim of Santa's jacket. So this is where his jacket typically buttons or fastens together, just painting a line either from the belt to the bottom of his chin or vice versa. You can make it as thin or as thick as you want, all depending on what you want his jacket to look like. Now, after you've done the center of the jacket, feel free to come to the cuff at his sleeves, and you can just use simple dabbing motions with your paintbrush to create a fluffy trim just at the edge of the gloves there. And you'll want to do that above the boot as well. You'll create some lining at the bottom of his jacket there too, slightly below his belt. And bringing up that line to finish off the center trim where his jacket closes, and finishing off the bottom of the jacket there. And we can go to the other side now and paint in that trim. Again, just using that dabbing motion with the paintbrush, filling in the top of the boot. And then doing the other hand as well, filling in that trim for the bottom of the sleeve, just below the glove, making it look nice and fluffy. Dabbing along. And we're going to continue with this white paint. Now that we have the jacket and the pants done, we're going to create some white trim at the hat area as well. So just around the rim of the hat, we're going to use that dabbing motion again, making some nice fluffy trim. Again, as thick or as thin as you want. Sometimes using that dabbing motion can create a nice fluffy texture with the acrylic paint. Just moving along there, one after the other. Again, there's no rush. And remember as well to add that little white tuft at the very tip of the hat, just hanging beside the face there. You don't need a lot of paint for this part. And of course, we're also going to need to add Santa's signature white beard. So grabbing some more white paint and starting just below the hat, bringing it down and around well below the chin and up back around again towards the hat, creating that bottom outline of the beard. And then another line just over top of the chin and mouth, filling that in, using that dabbing motion again if you like to create a little bit of texture. You should start to see a fuller beard now that'll sit just above, just in front of Santa's jolly smile. Now we're going to grab a little bit of that black paint with a nice small thin brush, and what we're going to do is we're going to paint in both of Santa's eyes. Now, because he is meditating, we suspect that he's likely keeping his eyes closed, so all we have to do is paint two little lines, two simple little lines indicating that he does have his eyes closed. Now, if they're not even, you can keep at it until you get it the way you like. And what we'll do after that is grab a little bit of white paint and paint two little peaceful eyebrows above Santa's eyes, showing that calm expression on his face as he meditates. And to add a little more detail, we'll add just a touch of that skin tone colored paint and create a tiny little nose that's just sitting over top of the beard. Now, if you have some pink paint, you can use it now to create a small little smiling line over top of the beard to show Santa's peaceful smile. If you don't have pink, you can use red as well. Grabbing that yellow paint next, and we're going to add some gold detail to Santa's attire. If you want, you can add some tiny yellow buttons to his jacket, just to fasten him in there nicely, using a tiny paintbrush for nice detail. And you can even use that yellow paint to create a beautiful gold buckle on Santa's belt. Just painting in a nice square motion. Slowly painting one of the four sides at a time. No need to rush. And if you need to finish off your buttons to the bottom of the jacket, you can do that there too. Grabbing the green paint, we're going to add a little bit of detail around the edge of our ornament now. So grab a medium thick brush, put a little bit of green paint on there. It can really be any color you want. It can be green, red, blue, any color. This is your ornament and you can paint it any way you like. And we're just going to use a half circle motion, creating half circles all the way around the edge of the ornament. And what this is going to do is this is going to nicely frame the painting of the meditating Santa that you've applied to your ornament here, drawing that attention into the center. And just continue on with painting your frame. You can choose to change the colors as you go. You can create a pattern if you like, alternating red and green, blue and silver, however you like. Again, this is meant to be a mindful activity, so just allowing yourself to relax, focusing solely on the task at hand, experiencing the joy that it brings you, feeling any sensations as they arise, and just taking it all in. Not necessarily reacting to anything, but just observing as you go and as you paint. And as we continue, if you happen to notice that even the hands in the video are shaking, no need to worry about that. That's completely normal for this artist. Just focus on the painting, focus on your painting, and continue on. Take as long as you need. Now, as you start to come to the end of your frame here, simply pay attention to how much space you need to complete the pattern. When you start to meet the beginning of your pattern, just give yourself enough space to properly complete your last half circle. Right there at the end. So now that you've let the frame dry, you'll want to grab your permanent marker, any color you like. What we're going to do is we're going to write in a little saying just below the meditating Santa. And we're going to connect our meditation practice, in this case, with the joy and appreciation of Christmas. So the saying that we're going to write in here is Om, starting with the mantra Om, but then doing a little bit of wordplay and mixing that in with a Merry Christmas. So starting with the O and M for Om, and then putting in a couple of small M's just to draw out that sound, and then adding the E-R-R-Y for Merry. You can print, you can use cursive, whatever you're more comfortable with. You don't even have to write the saying on this ornament if you don't want to, but if you want to add a little extra special touch to it, this is a great way to do it. Now, we ran out of space to write out Christmas, but we were able to add the abbreviation Xmas, which works as well. You can write something else if you like. You can write your name, you can write the year. You can do another type of wordplay, writing Namaste instead of Namaste, just making reference to Santa's sleigh and reindeer. You can use paint for this part if you like to, if you have a nice steady hand. Your permanent marker does make it a lot easier. Now we're just grabbing a little bit of white paint and a small paintbrush to add some extra finishing touches, applying a few soft snowflakes just around Santa, making it look as if it's snowing. Just adding some detail into the background there. You can add as much or as little as you like, or you can even replace those snowflake dots with stars if you like, imitating a night sky. as Santa often does deliver his presents while it's night out. And just spending some time with that detail. Now you can go in and grab your pipe cleaners. We've opted for some blue pipe cleaner. And we're going to take that and cut off just a small piece to start with. This is going to allow us to start to create the hook in which we'll be using to hang the ornament. Now, if you have a slice that already has a hole in it, a part of this instruction won't seem that necessary, but we're going to pretend there is no hole. So first we're going to glue using a hot glue gun, and please seek parental help with this if you need it, but we're going to glue that small blue piece of pipe cleaner to the top of the slice. Add a little more glue, and then we'll take our little decal and put that right over top just to help it look a little more decorative and cover up that bit of glue that we've had to use on the top of the ornament there. And just press that in safely, making sure that you don't burn yourself on the glue. And that should be fastened in nicely. And now we're going to turn it over, and we're going to take that blue pipe cleaner, add a little more glue on the back, safely of course, and then bend that pipe cleaner down over back towards the back of the ornament, just to fasten it in there. And that should create a little loop on the top of your ornament. So again, if you don't have that hole in your slice, if you weren't able to drill a hole into the slice, this is a great way to get started to create that hanging portion of your ornament. Now we're going to grab some more pipe cleaner, and you can just use a single piece for this if you want, but we're going to use two to create a beautiful twisting pattern. So grab the ends of those pipe cleaners, and with your other hand, just start twisting and watch as they wrap themselves around each other, as if they're creating a candy cane-like pattern, doing that all the way to the other end of the pipe cleaners so that they're completely wrapped around each other. And once you get to the very end, you can take that pipe cleaner or string, depending on what you're using, and bring it to your ornament. And what you're going to do is you're going to fish it through that loop that you made at the top of the ornament. And just thread it through there. And when you have it inside the loop, what you can do is you can check the length of your pipe cleaner to see if you need to make it shorter, as you only need enough to really allow it to hang on something like a tree branch or a hook. So once you get that proper length measured out, go ahead and grab your scissors and just trim that pipe cleaner where needed. And when you get that trimmed off, just grab the ends of your pipe cleaner again and bring them together at the top. And what you're going to do is you're going to wrap them around each other so that they're nicely fastened together, creating a complete circle. And if you're just using string, feel free to just tie a nice bow at the top, bringing your string together. Now, if your pipe cleaner pattern is looking a little messy at the top of the circle, you can also just rotate it so that part is near the bottom and it won't be as noticeable. And there you have it. Here is your meditating Santa Christmas tree ornament with your Om Merry Christmas sentiment at the bottom. Allow the paint to dry, allow the glue to dry, and when it's ready, you can go ahead and hang up your ornament for everyone to see and for you to enjoy as well. So you can take your ornament and hang it in your meditation studio, in your yoga studio, your living room, on your tree. The choice is yours. But now as you meditate, you can both enjoy your meditation practice as well as the holidays, Christmas and the New Year. This season, we're going to be bringing joy to the world and peace on earth. Take care, be well, namaste. If you've enjoyed this craft today and you would like to benefit from a variety of other meditation, mindfulness, and wellness resources, please remember to like and share this video and subscribe to Wellness Euphoria.